We just watched a video by Professor Anton concerning male sexuality and sexuality in general, and had some thoughts on it. He presented this idea that I found to be very interesting, that the way that male sexuality is presented in Western culture actually works to desexualize men, that men are viewed as seekers of sex rather than as something to be desired sexually. He was discussing this more in the context of gender stereotypes concerning gadgets and power tools and sex toys. And my sister has some thoughts on this, but I would like to extend the analysis a bit further. I'll let my sister give her thoughts.
I think women are more likely to have sex toys for themselves than men are, but I don't think it's because men lack sex toys, because they have a very large variety to choose from should they have wanted to. From what I've seen, heterosexual men don't tend to, stereotypical heterosexual men, the ones that are into the gadgets, don't tend to want to go for them, and that might be because of the reasons that Professor Anton mentioned. Homosexual men, however, they're the ones that the advertisements for these products are typically aimed at, that I've seen, and they're more open about getting them and using them. I think this might be because they're on like the edge of the non-typical gender and sexual expression, and it also might be because they view themselves and other men as sexual things to be desired.
My sister had to go to bed, so I'm continuing this alone. I wanted to explore this further in the context of heterosexual relationships. I think that if it is true that male sexuality is characterized by a lack of something they are trying to get from women, and women are viewed as the containers of sexuality, this could explain, at least in part, the dynamics of sexual relationships between men and women. There's this view that, especially as a relationship wears on, women become less interested in sex. If the culture promotes this idea that women have no reason to value a man as sexually desirable, that they should be aroused by a man's desire of them, but not by the man for his own sake, it makes sense that this would cease to be sufficient cause for a woman to remain interested. Women are not objects and have to maintain a charade to continue to present themselves as such, and I can only imagine that this becomes tiring. I think Professor Anton's video touches on how the objectification of women in Western culture can actually be harmful and demeaning to men as well as women, and to the relationships between them.